Morning. I had this really cute little campground picked out for last night, but I got there pretty early in the day and it was raining. Plus, I was just kind of enjoying the drive. So I figured I'd keep going, at least for a little while. And by the time I was tired enough to really want to stop, I ended up here. Ta-da! Cracker Barrel. It's not some amazing campground, but I don't know. I think there are more amazing campgrounds in my future. And frankly, I sleep just about the same anywhere. I mean, I don't sleep great, but I sleep about the same no matter where I am. I'm not really sure what town I'm in, but I'm in Virginia. That part I know. I don't know. I'm still not quite myself, and I just felt like driving. Rain probably had something to do with it, but I don't really mind rain in normal quantities. When I'm driving along, I just put on a podcast, usually like true crime or something like that, and I just stop thinking, or I think about the podcast, and I think that's what's good for me right now. I have a nice place picked out for tonight, so I'm going to hit the road as soon as Captain is done with his business. Oh wow, look at those birds.
Hey, bro, roll the route from down in Tinseltown all the way to southern Maine. Each day her revelries became the memories that she has carried on until today. But now they seem to carry her away.
I generally stop for fuel every 100 miles because my fuel gauge doesn't work. I have a video coming up with more on that. But anyway, first stop of the day. I'm going to go fuel up. I'll be right back. Okay. Time to get rolling. Ugh. Okay, check this out. Oh, it's not doing it now because I want to show it to you, so it's not going to do it. I turn the key and a light pops on that says wait to start, and then when that light goes off, I can start. And that's supposed to be the only light that goes on if its conditions are good, right? But this time, this one popped on, the one on the bottom that says fuel filter. Now it's not coming on. I don't know what that means. And I can't get a fuel filter right now anyway. I definitely have a fuel filter problem. I go through them like potato chips. Usually I can keep driving when that light comes on. And I say usually because it has stopped me before. At this point, I'm only maybe, 700 miles into the trip? And I got a new fuel filter about 300 miles before leaving Massachusetts. So the light is coming on, asking for a new fuel filter after only about 1,000 miles. And that is not completely new behavior. I've had this issue for a while, but not usually at 1,000 miles. One mechanic, he thought that it was just a faulty light. But when I ignore the light and I keep going, eventually my fuel economy reduces more and more over time, and it gets harder and harder to accelerate up hills. There's a lot of hills on the route I'm on, but I'm going to get back on the road.
And from the stage a moment dances and quickly passes. Still the spirit carries on, carry on, carry on.
It's definitely a lot harder to accelerate right now, and I don't know, it just feels sluggish, There's definitely something going on, something wrong. Maybe after I get settled in someplace tonight, I can see if there's any mechanic anywhere around. Right now, time for another fuel stop. 100 miles. Oh shit, something. Okay, I'm losing power. I gotta make it into the station. Well, I'm not gonna make it to the pump, so I'm just gonna. Sorry, guy. I'm just gonna.
Head north on Lee Highway.
Well, so much for the whole it's just a faulty light theory. The bus stopped exactly the way it would stop if it were out of fuel, but it can't be out of fuel. I mean, I'm on my front tank, which holds 18 gallons. I stop every 100 miles. So the least I've ever gotten from this thing is 10 miles per gallon. So with 18 gallons, I should be able to go 180 miles minimum just on that one tank. My theory is that my fuel tanks have gunk in them, and until I get them dropped and cleaned out, I'm going to continue to have problems. I don't even know why I opened the hood. There's the filter. It's not like I have a spare I can replace it with, or that I even know. Well, I've watched it done enough times. I probably could do it myself, but it's very messy. I got to find a mechanic that'll come here and fix it, because it doesn't seem like there's any place I can actually get to. Well, I went inside and asked if anybody there knows a mechanic who would come out and change my filter, and they gave me a number, but it turned out to be a wrong number, and the lady who answered, she was really pissed off about it. I guess they give out her number all the time. But anyway, okay, lady, I just dialed a number. I didn't, it's not my fault. Now, I do have roadside assistance, and you're probably wondering why I don't just call them. God, I wish I had time to make more videos, because I really want to make a video about that too. But the basic idea is that I keep finding that when I need help, I usually do better finding a roadside mechanic myself than I do waiting for them to drum somebody up. Yeah, I'll call them anyway, and then they can start doing their thing, and then I'm also going to start calling around from Google and see what I can find. Okay, the problem is fixed. I didn't shoot any video. I'm sorry. Sometimes I have to remind myself, like when something like this happens, YouTube is not the first thing on my mind. It's kind of the last thing on my mind. So I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Maybe that'll change. I don't know. I called roadside, and they found a guy, and I also found a guy. And their guy said he would come in 3 hours, and my guy said he would come in 45 minutes. So I booked my guy. He was a really nice guy, and he did have to go to the auto parts store to get the filter, because it's not something he had laying around. Not many people are going to have that laying around. And so he changed it out, and we had to jump through a few hoops to get it primed, which is another thing I'll explain in a different video. But now I'm about to get back on the road.
In 800 feet, turn right.
I'm here. Well, another little problem came up. Something else for you to learn from my mistakes about. I got so turned around with all the filter stuff that I forgot that this is not a free campground. It's $10 a night to camp, and I plan to stay here for 2 nights at least. And you know how some campgrounds have that machine you can put your debit card into? This one doesn't. It's cash in an envelope only. I was able to scrounge up $19.70, and I put that in the envelope in the hope that the ranger will go easy on me for the last 30 cents. That'll give me 2 days, and I think I could get used to this place and stay a lot longer than that, but Captain and I are going to have something to eat and then go take a walk. Here's a video from the first time a fuel filter stopped me. Take a look and learn from my mistakes. That's why I make them.